buzzing, buzzing, and we're humming, humming, and we're loving, loving all day. Flying high like the birds and the bees, and we're feeling alive while we float with the breeze, 'cause we're buzzing, buzzing.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tatiana, and we're back from exchange if you guys couldn't tell, and I thought I'd start off my first video back with the 21 things I learned by the time I turned 21. So when I looked at people when they were 21, when I was younger, I looked at them and was like, wow, these people have their lives together, and that's so not the case. I definitely have learned so much in my 21 years, but I still have so much room to grow and learn. But I want to share with you guys the top 21 things I feel like I've learned so far since I was turned 21. First of all, before I start, I know I just came back from another vacation in Florida. I didn't film that, but I'm really tanned, and then I'm not tanned on my face as much. I just never tan as much on my face, so apologies for that little weird confusion. But other than that, let's get right into this video. So number one is you really have to stop caring what people think about you. And I get it, I know it's so easier said than done, but honestly I feel like I've really embodied this throughout my life, or I've tried to. I am just such a goofball, and when obviously you want to care about how people perceive you and how they look at you, but when I say this, I feel like it's more just how you live life. Like when I was on exchange, all I did was dance crazy and lived my life and was having the best time ever. And I feel like for me, that was the biggest part of me being like, I really just don't care what the heck people think of me. Even just with clothing and all that stuff, I love wearing crazy outfits. And it's just like, for me, if someone's like, oh, you kind of looked crazy, I'd go, you know what? I had a fun time, or I loved that outfit. And I feel like if you're confident in yourself and your decisions, then no one really else questions them. It's kind of like, wow, that's super cool. I wish that I was as confident in being and doing whatever I wanted to do. Number two, life is short, so just live it. I know that's like so cliche, but it's so true. Again, I feel like I've personally also learned so much about myself since I went on my exchange, and the biggest thing is I just went for it. I feel like I've really seen where I want to spend my money, how I want to live my life. For me, I would rather spend my money now on experiences rather than clothing, because why do you need clothing if you don't have somewhere to wear it to even? And just having fun with everything and taking everything seriously, but also with a grain of salt. Number three is don't waste your time on people that don't want to spend time on you. So here I wrote, getting older means you have less time, so you want to focus on the people that are putting in an effort for you, which is a big thing. Obviously, it's really hard when you always want to see everyone, but especially in university, you don't have much time to see people, so you really want to focus your energy on people that you really see putting in an effort as much as you do. And I feel like that really makes a big difference, because I would rather have a few really close friends than have this huge group of just acquaintances. So for me, I like to really try to see the people that matter a lot to me when I'm back home, and even in school. You want to put the effort in, and if you feel like someone's not putting the effort in, you gotta say something to them, and if it doesn't change, then put an effort into people that are putting effort into you, and it's gonna be the best friendship ever. Number four is don't let a relationship take over your life. For me, this is a really big one. I've been dating my boyfriend for around 2.5 years, and that was something I've always wanted in my life, is to pretty much, in a nutshell, live single, but you're not single. So for me, if I look back at my whole university experience, I've never not done something because I have a boyfriend. Obviously, you stay committed, but I go out, I have fun with my friends. I never just, I'm like, oh, I can't do this, I have a boyfriend, or you don't want someone holding you back. And I feel like as long as you know what you're doing, if you look back on it one day and you guys weren't together, you wouldn't be like, wow, that was a waste of my time, because it's never gonna be a waste if you're living your life, no matter what you would be doing the same thing if you were dating the person or you weren't. Number five is school is important. I hate that this is true, and everyone says it, but it is so true. Knowledge is power, baby, and honestly, it's so true. Going through university and going into 4th year, the biggest thing for me is when I talk to people about my goals and aspirations, I now get excited telling people what I'm going to be doing with my life, and having knowledge and going to school and learning more things is just so insane and so important. If I didn't have that, my limitations on what I could do in my life would be so different, and just school's important, so stay in it, kids. Number 6 is anytime you have a chance to travel, take it. I actually am still learning this. So I came back from exchange, and then I was lucky enough to go to Florida with my family this past weekend, and honestly I really didn't want to go at first. I was kind of like, oh, just want to stay and hang out with my friends, my boyfriend. And then when I went, I literally looked back and was like, I can't believe I didn't want to go at first, because it's so dumb. There's always going to be another time to hang out with your friends, but traveling is just, the world is so cool and you always want to go see it. I feel like traveling is the coolest way to learn more about yourself and learn about different cultures, and that's why we're on this world, is to learn all about each other, and traveling is just awesome. Number 7 is another annoying thing, but your parents are always right. Sadly, as much as I always try to pretend that they're not, every single time I've ever not taken my parents' advice, they end up being right, and it's, oh, so annoying, but so true. Number 8 is work hard towards something, and most of the time it'll work out. Don't get me wrong, nothing's ever going to be perfect and always work out, but if you work hard towards something, something's gonna come out of it. Me, the biggest thing of my life motto is everything happens for a reason. So if you're working hard towards, doesn't matter what it is something doesn't happen exactly what you're working towards, there's always gonna be a benefit coming out of it. Even for school, if you're gonna work really hard in school, honestly, it sucks, but you gotta study really hard and then you're gonna get good marks. But it's not just work hard towards something, it's for sure gonna happen. It's work hard towards something, and then something will happen. It doesn't matter what happens. Maybe it's not exactly what you planned, but there's always gonna be something coming out of it that's going to help you on your journey of life, or gonna help you learn something that you're gonna need throughout your life. Number 9 is the strongest people in life are the people that can take no for an answer and then stand up again and again, because rejection is very, very common. But my favorite word is resilient, and that just means that no matter what comes at you, you just keep taking it and then going for it, because you might get knocked down a billion times, but then that one time that you stand up and go for it again, it's gonna work out. So you may as well try for it, because if you don't, nothing's ever gonna happen. This I kind of already talked about, but no one's ever gonna love every decision you make in life, but as long as you're confident in it, they're gonna accept it. The next one is, if an opportunity doesn't exist, create it or go for it. The next one is really big, and it begins and ends in your mind. Whatever you give power to has power over you. The next one is, the most beautiful things in life are moments and feelings, and for me, I really resonate with this, because the most beautiful moments, I feel like for me, actually some of the happiest moments of my life have been actually on my past exchange. This is one of my biggest things that I live my life by, and is do things that make you nervous and make you feel like you're out of your comfort zone. I love making myself do things that put me out of my comfort zone, because it makes me go and do things. If you're comfortable all the time, you're never going to be doing the most that you can do. For me, if I feel nervous about doing a presentation or going to do a new job or going to introduce myself to someone, I get excited about almost, and I try to get that in my head that I'm excited about it, because you should be. Making yourself nervous and putting it outside your comfort zone is making you to go do things that you haven't done yet. Only staying in your comfort zone is never going to get you places. Getting yourself out of your comfort zone and pushing your limits is always going to be good. Don't get me wrong, I don't love presenting all the time, but at the same time I do, because it makes me uncomfortable, and I know the only way to get better at it is to present. And I know that people are always gonna get nervous. No one's always just like, oh, whatever, it's not a big deal. But for me, my favorite things are things that make me nervous and put me outside of my comfort zone, because it makes me do things that I get more opportunities from. I guess all these are really big, but this next one is kill people with kindness. Next one is focusing on the negatives in a situation, destroy any positives. So I said this before, but I want to reiterate it, but say you didn't get your job that you wanted, your dream job. You could focus on the negatives and be like, this sucks. How am I ever going to go anywhere? How am I going to build my resume? Blah, blah. Or you can focus on the positives and be like, if I got that dream job that I wanted right away, would I be working as hard towards my grades? Would I be making all these connections by trying to meet up with people for coffee just to get more connections and meet with people and show them my interest in what I believe in? Did that make me want to join more clubs? In the end, there's always going to be positives coming out of a negative situation. And again, everything happens for a reason. So just let it flow and do what you can to make a negative into a positive. The next one for me is really big, and it's instead of being jealous of someone for their successes, be happy for them, but then also use that as your motivation to want to do better for yourself. So if anything, if you think that you're jealous of someone for doing way better than you in a class, then instead of being just jealous of them and almost angry at them at some weird reason, why would you be mad at someone for doing better than you if they obviously studied harder than you? You know what, then use that as motivation and be like, I'm mad and jealous maybe because I know that they studied harder than me and they got a higher mark, or maybe they didn't study harder than you, but use that as motivation then and be like, you know what, I need to do better. If I see that someone else can do that well, then I know I can do that well, so I'm gonna study harder, work harder, and I'm gonna use this as motivation because I see that I'm not happy with my results, so that's the only thing I can do. Next one's really important, is sit down with people and just have some genuine conversations, and it's gonna be some of like the best memories of your life. Something big for me that I've learned is, it might not work for everyone, but write things down from your head to figure things out. For me, I'm a person that always likes to try to figure things out on my own, and then I'll get confused with how I feel about something, and then I'll just forget about it, and then I'll keep thinking about something, and then I'll never be able to figure it out. And something big that really works for me is writing down how I'm feeling at a certain time and go, okay, I was feeling this way, and then it made me think of this, blah, blah. Then maybe even like 2 hours later, I'd be like, you know what, now I'm feeling better about the situation, this is why. And at the very end, I can look back at how I was feeling and then realize, okay, I can make a collective decision instead of trying to remember what I was thinking about something, because you're always going to have mixed emotions about different things. For me, writing down things and be able to backtrack on it is so nice. And then for me, what I do is once I've decided on something or how I feel about a situation or yada yada, after I've decided and closed that chapter, it could take as long or as short as you want, I rip it all up and I throw it out because then that decision's been made and I don't want to think about it anymore. The next one for me is really important because instead of having conflict, I prefer to just say I'm sorry or just kind of let things be brushed under the rug. But something big for me is if you don't show your self-respect, no one else is going to give you respect. So stand up for yourself, and even if it's something so small you're like, oh, that was kind of rude, just say that. Because if someone said something rude to you and you just say, I think that was rude, know that they'll probably do the same thing for you, and it's just a very sign of mutual respect. And then the more open you are about talking about something, the more strong your relationship is. My last one that I'm gonna leave you guys off with is listen to other people's opinions. I think this is so important. I know that everyone has their own opinions, and some people can be very stubborn in their ways and go, nope, you're wrong and I'm right. But for me, I think the biggest thing in life is learning why people have certain opinions. I get it with certain things. I'm like, no, I'm 100%, this is my decision. But I still like to listen to other people's sides and just understand where they're coming from, because it gives you perspective that you probably would never have thought of before. Sometimes it can change your mind and sometimes it won't at all, but it's nice to know where they're coming from, even just to understand certain situations. And that's helped me so much. I've always been a very open person where people can tell me their opinions, and I'm not going to judge you for your opinion, but as long as you accept that if I don't have the same opinion as you and you can't change mine, I'm not going to try and change yours. Just listen to my facts, listen to yours, have a good conversation, and sometimes agree to disagree. But I've learned such amazing things from that and had so many different outlooks on life from listening to other people's opinions. Even though I usually in the end don't agree with their opinion, it's nice to know where they're coming from, be able to understand other people's minds, because if you're so close-minded off just to your opinions and what you think, you'll never know the full facts and never even understand where other people's arguments are coming. And sometimes I understand people's arguments and I'm still like, no, like I don't agree with that, but agree to disagree. It's probably the best thing ever. Talk to people. Alright you guys, so that was the 21 things I learned by the time I turned 21. I hope you guys like it, and I definitely need to look back at these things for myself because it's easier said than done, but it's something you need to work on throughout your whole life. But these are things I feel like I've been trying to work on my whole life and been learning throughout my whole life, and I hope that these tips and things that I've learned can apply or help you guys in your life. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more videos from me, subscribe down below because I'm going to be trying to post twice a week throughout the summer, so we're back on that grind. More YouTube videos for you. Sadly no more travel vlogs, but I'll be vlogging and doing sit down videos. And other than that, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!